It didn't begin with a flagrant foul or a dramatic fall to the floor. It started with the subtle things, the bumps off the ball, the extra shove on every screen. From the opening tip, Caitlin Clark was being targeted, not just defended. Every cut she made was met with body contact, every pass followed by a forearm or a nudge to her back. The physicality was intentional and unrelenting. Eventually, the breaking point came. JCS Sheldon reached in too high, catching Clark directly in the eye. As the whistle blew, another defender shoved her from behind. Players swarmed, the crowd rose, and for a moment it looked like the game might spiral out of control. But Clark didn't react. She didn't argue or retaliate. She reset and kept playing, running the offense, choosing her spots, and answering the pressure with baskets. The league may have seen it as composure, but Paige Bueckers saw it as a different kind of challenge, one that required a different answer. She didn't say anything publicly, but she remembered. And when the rematch came, Paige didn't wait. She played with intent. Every cut was crisp, every read locked in. When the moment came and the same defender stepped up to pressure her, Paige made one move, quick, decisive, and final. The defender collapsed, not from contact, but from being completely outclassed. It wasn't revenge, it was a statement. You don't bully Caitlin Clark and walk away unscathed. Not when Paige Bueckers is on the floor. The game itself began with both teams feeling each other out. Dallas struck first with a clean pick-and-roll that freed Nalissa Smith for a strong finish at the rim. Isaiah James added a hustle play, chasing down a loose ball and feeding Smith for an easy basket. Paige Bueckers then found her rhythm off the ball, slipping into a soft spot at the free-throw line and knocking down a smooth jumper. Myisha Hines-Allen responded for Dallas with a poised jumper, and the Wings showed they could generate clean looks through sharp spacing and quick decisions. Connecticut wouldn't go away quietly. Sonia Rivers hit a three from the corner, and Kayla Charles added a short corner jumper to close the gap. But Dallas kept pace, with Smith continuing to dominate the paint. As the quarter wound down, Bueckers attacked her matchup and floated in a runner through contact to close the first with Dallas up 21-15. In the second, Bueckers came off an Iverson cut and hit a clean three, but the Sun countered inside with Nelson Ododa and Tina Charles making smart post plays. Marina Mabrey added a mid-range jumper and later nailed a step-back three. Paige responded with a string of perfectly timed plays, a pull-up off the pick-and-roll, a jab-step jumper, and another tough mid-range shot. Connecticut tied the game with strong ball movement, including a corner three from Sheldon, but Paige quickly flipped the momentum. Isolated at the top of the key, she dropped Mabrey with a slick move, leaving her limping. No trash talk, no reaction, just basketball. On the next play, she cut backdoor and hit another jumper, giving Dallas a 42-40 lead at the half. The Sun opened the second half with Sheldon draining a transition three. Dallas responded with Smith hitting James in stride for a smooth finish. Tina Charles backed her way down for a hook, and then Bueckers again made a game-changing play, reading the inbound pass and forcing a steal that led to a James layup. Eric Ogunbowl followed with another steal and mid-range jumper. Then, James delivered the highlight of the night, a behind-the-back dime to Smith on the break, who finished in stride, igniting the crowd. The bench erupted and the crowd rose to its feet, but the Sun weren't done. Nelson Ododa, who had been quiet for most of the quarter, established deep post position and turned over her shoulder for a tough fadeaway jumper. She hit it cleanly, slowing down Dallas's growing momentum. Then Anissa Morrow stepped in and made her presence felt by battling through contact, grabbing an offensive rebound, and finishing the play through a foul. It wasn't flashy, but it was pure grit, and it kept the game within reach. Just when it looked like the quarter might slip away, Isaiah James delivered again. Coming off a handoff from Bueckers, she turned the corner hard and floated in a smooth left-handed shot through traffic, giving the Wings just enough to hold on to their edge. After 3 quarters, Dallas held a narrow 65-64 lead. The fourth quarter opened with Isaiah James picking up right where she left off. She ran a pick-and-roll with Lee Weru, waiting for the screen to develop before turning the corner and attacking the paint. Weru rolled hard to the rim and finished the play, keeping Dallas sharp out of the gate. Moments later, James curled off a pin-down screen, caught the ball at the elbow, and used a shot fake to freeze the defense. With one dribble to her left, she floated in a soft left-handed shot that dropped cleanly. Her footwork, control, and poise stood out. On the very next possession, she attacked from the wing right after the inbound, drove left, shielded the defender with her body, and finished at the rim in traffic. The Wings had found their rhythm, and James was at the heart of it. The Sun tried to counter, and their execution remained steady. When Anissa Morrow drew a double team in the post, she didn't force the shot. Instead, she kicked it to Tina Charles in the short corner, who knocked down the jumper with confidence. That possession captured the Suns' approach, poised, unselfish, and deliberate. On the next trip down, Weru fought for an offensive rebound, drew a foul, and calmly hit both free throws. But Dallas stayed composed. JCS Sheldon fed Morrow on the block, and she muscled her way into a layup off the glass. Then came the dagger. Paige Bueckers drove into the teeth of the defense, drew a double team, waited patiently, and kicked the ball out to Eric Ogunbowl, who was wide open at the top of the arc. Eric stepped into the three without hesitation and buried it. It was Bueckers' sixth assist of the night, and it gave Dallas breathing room down the stretch. The Sun clawed back with effort. After a missed shot, Morrow secured another offensive rebound, drew a foul, and hit both free throws. Dallas didn't blink. Ogunbowl came off a pick and pop, drew a foul, and calmly made both free throws. In the final moments, Bueckers lost her balance but managed to slip a pass to Dejonai Carrington, who gathered herself, took a couple of controlled dribbles, and finished the layup. That bucket erased the Suns' final hope of a comeback. A few more free throws closed it out, and the Wings walked away with an 8-point victory when the final buzzer sounded. But this wasn't just another win for Dallas. It was personal. Paige Bueckers didn't come into the game seeking revenge, but when the moment called for it, she delivered the message no one else would. The same team that had taken liberties with Caitlin Clark had to face someone just as fearless. And when Paige dropped her defender with a killer crossover, it wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. A warning that said, "You don't touch her and walk away clean."